Good afternoon, everyone. So I was asked for a size comparison for these eggs that I'm trying to identify because I've had a few people offer me some suggestions. So there's one of my chicken eggs, and it is now next to the eggs so that you've got some size comparison. And to give its location, it's right next to the water. I had someone suggest it could be ducks. I had somebody else suggest it's possibly plover eggs, which is what I'm actually leaning towards. The stone curlews would be lovely, but I'm pretty certain it's not them. I haven't seen any of those around or heard any of them around, and neither of my neighbours. There are some interesting manure tracks around here, but I get a lot of ducks too. So yes, it's right on the edge of the water near my lovely dam or pond, whatever you want to call it. Hole in the ground that holds water. It's a pretty pond. Generally in Australia we call them a dam. Unless you're talking to the government, then it's a pond. Long story. Anyway, there's the eggs. But I thought I'd do some stuff down with these plants that I've got over here and see how they're all going. I don't know if I've got any tadpoles that I can see. Nothing obvious that I can see at the moment. Let's go have a look over near the plants. Lots of little tadpoles over here the other day, but it was earlier in the day too, so it was a lot warmer. So, but the plants are they're doing okay. I'm planning to actually separate that pot a bit today, hopefully. I'm a bit buggered actually. Still getting over this cold and had a late night last night, or early morning I should say. But these are all doing really, really well. It's actually been a couple of days since they were planted. So the kids and I planted those the other day. So the strawberry's doing well there. So there's that one. And that looks like it's okay still. And the mulberry is doing okay. Really happy with that. Can't tell much with the cuttings of the Okinawa spinach or the longevity spinach, but I wasn't expecting to be able to see much with those. The Pella, yeah, it doesn't look happy, but it got ripped off the plant, so it needs to develop roots. It's a shame that it's all bent over like that, but you get that. The celery, now the celery down here is a little bit of a experiment because I've heard that they're a bog dwelling plant, so they like a swampy area, and I know they love it in my aquaponics, so I really wanted to see how it'd go down here on the edge of the pond. So let's see how it goes. It's not looking real happy at the moment, but it also got some fairly rough treatment as well. It's my purple iris, and I've got a taro over there which is doing really well. That's one that I actually took out of that pot over there and decided to just plant it straight into the dirt. And I may actually do that with some of that as well. But yes, I've got some pots with some rocks and I'm planning to try and propagate some of that to get it to multiply. Got another pellet plant to plant. So there's got some drainage gravel that I got for the aquaponics. So yeah, so that's my plan. And I brought a chair down, so I got somewhere nice to sit and just look at my lovely pond and just enjoy the quietness. Because up at the house is a little bit of a disaster area at the moment, and I'm escaping. We've had all sorts of fun and games, but it's all good. I'll be back soon. Okay, so what I've done is I've just put a little bit of a hole in the ground, and all I'm going to do, so this tree spinach, also known as Pella or Queensland spinach or island spinach, is so easy to propagate, and if it doesn't grow, it's actually my fault because this is not the ideal time of year to be planting it. So I'm just going to stick it in the dirt, in the ground like that, and then backfill. That's all I'm going to do. And it should grow. It is one of the easiest plants I've ever come across to propagate. And it should create a nice little microclimate along the edge of the pond here given time, along with that one and the mulberry tree. So yeah. But this is not the ideal time of year to be doing this. I should be doing this as the weather's warming up, not as the weather is cooling down. But when the weather was warming up, that was when we were in a drought, so I didn't do it. And the horses were here, so, but I'll be back soon. Okay, so let's have a look at the progress. So that was the original pot, and I've managed to separate it out. Well, I had one that came out when I actually pulled it out, so it had actually already rooted itself into the dam wall, or floor, ground, bottom of the dam. Those two pots have got rocks in the bottom and just the plant. That one's got rocks and just the plant. That one is just the plant sitting on the ground. I've put one in here that's just the plant. It's just sitting on top of the ground as well, so it'll probably root itself. That one will probably not do very well. And I planted one over there. I actually dug a hole in the ground and stuck it in there. So yes, potentially I could have these things coming up everywhere. And I'm not 100% certain what this plant is, but the interesting thing is there's a lot of eggs on a lot of the leaves. So all of the leaves that were laying in the water, I can't find them now. Oh, this one's got a few on it. I don't know if that's... This has got a few, but a lot of the other leaves are just absolutely covered in little eggs. So I'm not sure what they are, but something's really liking this being here. Hopefully it's a beneficial something and not a non-beneficial something. Anyway, working on creating a habitat. And hopefully this will do really well. But as I said, it's the wrong time of year to be doing this. We're still having quite warm days, but we are getting to having quite cool nights as well. So I really don't know. I don't know enough about ponds. So something I'm learning as I go. But I don't remember what that plant is. I really should ask the person that I got it from. Which I can't remember the name of them off the top of my head. I think they're at Mount Tambourine somewhere. They do a lot of water plants. But I ordered it a long, long time ago too. I got it in a pack of 4. No, it would have been 5 because one of the plants died. And I've still got that one, that one, that one. And I think that's an iris of some sort. I'm not sure what kind. I'd be really lucky if it's a purple one. I know that one is a purple iris. At least I bought it as a purple iris. So I'm hoping it's a purple iris. Time will tell. I don't think they flower till spring. So yes. Next time I come down, I will tackle that plant and work on propagating it out. So yes. Yeah, very exciting. Quite pleased that I got that many plants out of that one little tiny thing, because really when I bought it, I'm pretty sure all I got was something like that. So yeah, you could see all the roots on that one. There's a pretty big potential that that's going to take over. And I've got a fairly big pond, so I'm not terribly worried about that. But I do have other things that I need to do, and I want to have lots of plant material in this dam to create lots of habitat for animals and aquatic life, which apparently it's already creating some habitat, which is fantastic. But yeah, I've gone and I did actually give myself a slight cut on the wrist. Not you can see it, and it's not bleeding now, so it's more like a little paper cut. But I want to go get that back to the house and disinfect that. So yes, making progress. I did get the pillar in. It did fall over, but I picked it back up again. I'm not too worried. If it grows in the wrong direction, I can just chop the top off, take a cutting, plant it somewhere else and let the bottom grow back up again. And if it doesn't take off, I'm not too worried, because I still got heaps in the aquaponics and it literally grows like a weed. It is so easy. You just chop off a branch and chuck it in the dirt. And it creates a really nice shelter underneath it, but it also creates a lot of food, which is great, which is something that plant doesn't. That one that I just propagated does not produce food. Although that one, the taro does, and I've got one of those there as well. The canna lily, it also produces food. The brahmi is a medicinal herb. The celery obviously produces food. And I've got another taro up there somewhere. And I've just popped in some Okinawa spinach and all that sort of thing. So this should produce some nice little amount of food in this area, provided the wildlife doesn't eat it. But yeah, it is what it is. We see what we can do. And it's all one big experiment, really. And if you'd like to follow along and see how this one big experiment goes, and even if you just want to come and sit and enjoy the dam with me, I mean, it's just beautiful. It really is. It's just a lovely spot here. And now I have a chair to sit on when I come up here. So yes, which will make it just that little bit more relaxing. And hopefully I don't come out here one day and find it's floating in the dam. Which, with the amount of wind we get here, it is entirely possible. But yeah, so that's the pond plants update. They're doing well, but I really should get me inside out of this cool air. I've still got to milk the goats. Oh dear. Anyway, you have a great day. Any comments, questions or suggestions, or if you know the name of that plant that I just divided and multiplied, or as the vineyard chicks would say, divide and prosper, then yeah, let me know. I'm not quite sure what the name of it is. It's supposed to be a pretty pond plant, so I mean, and one thing I'm wanting to do is actually improve the water quality, because as much as that looks really, really pretty, the water, you can't see in it. There is no clarity to that water at all. It's really quite murky and icky. It looks pretty though. It does look pretty. And I haven't stood in there yet. I've washed my hands. Yes, it's quite murky. And I don't want to put anything in there to clear up the water, because I use this water to fill the aquaponics as well as feeding the animals. Isn't that just a beautiful, beautiful picture? It's just my little piece of paradise, which hopefully I can work on making it so that it's more beautiful. And this is my first step. But yeah, anyway, you have a great day, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bless you.